with Givenchy and Fendi. Let's look out energy. Yeah, you niggas ain't got any. And we're talking out at Denny's. Not just get out your feelings right now. Shawty wanna slide. Puffin' on it. Can y'all hear those bells? I feel like those bells were meant to be in this reading because I really almost missed them. Okay. Well, anyway, welcome to a tarot reading. I usually do weekly readings, but this week, not gonna lie, I really didn't have the energy for it. And I really want tarot to be something that's like for fun that I do. Anyway, talking too much. Had a message for the collective today. It probably is in relation to Mercury retrograde and the new moon that is coming in tomorrow. So this is just, wow, those bells. And it just ended. Okay, so this is a quick collective message from Spirit. Quick collective message. Before I dived into the message, before I pressed play on the video, I had already pulled some cards to kind of get themes for what this reading might be about. And some words or some statements that jumped into my head is your past wants to come in to speak to you. And you should open the door. Your shadow and your demons want to come in and speak to you. And you should open the door. I think that, okay, so I pulled the Six of Staves also in the pre-reading, that's what I'll call it. And a lot of the messages, I'm just stumbling, please forgive me, because I'm just trying to see how I'm going to phrase this in my head. Okay. So retrograde is happening. And I think that retrograde, whenever a planet is retrograding, it is usually a time for review. And you review things that you've already done. And so the review of the past. And so right now, why the message was your past wants to come in to speak to you is because your past is where you're going to find the reasonings for why some of the blockages that you have exist as blockages for you. I think that to actually tap into your past, and this is the thing, there's a lot of people getting into, I don't want to say that. I think that's so corny to say that there's a lot of people getting into spirituality, because I think that negates the fact and truth that life is a spiritual practice in itself, and all life is spiritual. And so there's no such thing as getting into spirituality. Even atheists are spiritual without even knowing they're spiritual. So I don't want to say that, but I do see a lot of people wanting to enter, I don't even know how to even describe this form of spirituality that involves manifestation, that involves tarot reading, that involves candle magic, that involves crystals, that involves a lot of those things. And I see a lot of people kind of jumping into it as a facade, not as a facade, as like a fad. Fad is what I'm looking for. And spirituality is and everything becomes a fad, right? And so this is not even saying in judgment, because everything becomes a fad. But in order for spirituality to actually not be a fad for you, you have to put into practice truthfully and honestly what the lessons is trying to ingrain into you is. And so I'm saying that all to say that when I say invite your past in to have a conversation, it's not easy. It's something you need to be armored for and something that you need to be ready for. And I think that what Spirit is asking us to do, right, is to reevaluate the, I want to say reevaluate the lines between fantasy and reality. Realizing that some of our wishes and our goals haven't really been what we've wanted, and that's not just in career, that's in life as well. Things that have happened in our past were not what we wanted, but to understand why we chose those paths and why those things happened and why we are sometimes still affected by our past. We have to be able to sit there and be honest with ourselves, and honesty is hard. And I think that especially with us being in Aquarius and, you know, age of Aquarius, the Aquarius theme is everywhere. Aquarius is the individual, but it is the individual within the community. And I think that what we are trying to learn how to do now is to connect back into the Earth's reality in a way that is truly authentic to us, in a way that we can actually manifest what we really want. But the thing is, for you to even come close to manifesting your actual vibrational path, you have to know your actual vibrational path. And that is something that's going to take a minute to do. And so another message is grace. So I pulled the Nine of Staves while I was doing that little ramble. And the Nine of Staves says, staves is fire energy. It's intense. The 9 is the number of endings and conclusions, right? And so I think that we are consistently ending cycles. And this Mercury retrograde is bringing up cycles from your past that you need to end. But in order for you to be able to end those cycles from your past, you have to invite your past in. And inviting your past in means inviting memories, inviting demons. And it's not easy to do. Those things are not easy to do. And if you are somebody who's watched this far and you would actually like some tips of some things that I've tried and has worked in one way or another, I would love to share with you. but yeah, in order for us to finally close these chapters, we have to be willing to brace the storm of what is. And so it's what Spirit is saying is walk through that storm. Walk through that storm, because at the other end of the storm is your answer, is your peace, is the connectivity that you're looking for, right? Because I think that what we're all really craving right now is real, true community. And of course, we're craving real, true community. We're craving real, true lovers, real, true friendships, true, just a lot more honest vulnerability, and love and nurture than what we've received before. And so in order for us to get there, we have to release some mental blockages. And in order for us to release those mental blockages, we have to sit with ourselves. And Liz, I didn't really pull cards because I already pulled cards before this. But yeah, the message is invite your past in and have a cup of damn tea. Have a cup of tea with your past. Have a conversation. But you have to know that you're not there anymore. That's the secret to having conversations with your past and not letting it overcome you, is when you are having those conversations, realize that you're not there anymore. And that you are just having a conversation. It is not something, and you are there for review. You are there to find out where the wound lies, right? Like, why are we so untrusting of community and love? And why are we so untrusting of the universe too? Why are we so untrusting of ourselves and our capacities and our abilities to overcome certain things? All of the answers to that lie in our past. I know for me personally, a lot of childhood memories have been coming up. I've always remembered my childhood, always. Just had memories of when I was 3 or 4. But a lot of it has been coming up back up more and more, and just not even just childhood, but from 3 to 12, those memories are coming back, because those were my formative years. And those were where a lot of certain programming seeped in. But anyway, I'm going too far in. Invite your past in and have a conversation. Have a real conversation with yourself about who you are and why you have been the places you have been. And honestly, those things, it's not easy. It's not easy to be able to have those conversations with yourself. But I did see this Heavenly Master, and right after it was this Knight of Coin. And the message that immediately came into my head was, in order for you to even come close to mastering your physical realm, that is the material realm that we can see and touch, in order for you to even come close to mastering that, you have to first know how to master your mind and your thoughts and your heart and have a conversation with yourself and your demons. I talk to myself all the time, talking to myself because I am my best consultant. LOL. But no, seriously, I talk to myself all the time, and it helps and it works. And so in order for you, you have to brave the storm to get to your heart in order to master your reality. Beautiful message. I don't think I even have to, I don't want to even go in and really explain what that means. You have to brave the storm that is within yourself to reach your higher self, to reach the self of you that is truthful. You have to brave all of the programming, right? Because as I get deeper into tarot, I want to say that a lot of the energy that we have in our physical plane is based off the fact that we live in a white supremacist society that is ruled by nasty old white men. And so a lot of the things that we deal with is because we are stuck in this partigram. So I will always say that. And so for us to get to the truth of knowing who we are, we have to go through so much programming. Like for me, example, I am so different today than I was 2 years ago, but this is always who I've wanted to be. But I didn't have the capacity to be this person 2 years ago because there was so much more programming in me. And I know that I'm still working through a lot of programming, and that's why the first message is grace, is to have grace for yourself really truly as you're working through these things, and to take it day by day. But it's going to be hard, and it's going to be hard, and you may cry. They cry because once you cry, like crying is releasing, you know, and this is a new moon, and the new moon is all about releasing and letting go and just removing the blockages that had you and held you down. And so that is the message. Spirit is telling us to invite our past in, have a conversation with your insecurities and your demons, and have a conversation with the things that has been holding you down for a minute now. Have that conversation with those demons and brave it to meet your higher self, to meet your truth, to meet your purpose, to meet who you are. You know what I mean? You are more than I don't want to preach. I don't like preaching, but to get to the space of abundance, which is more than just materialistic wealth, which is more than just money in the bank. I want people to remember that. To get to this place of abundance with yourself, which is having peace, having joy, having happiness, having love, which love is so much more, encapsulates so much more than just romantic love. And sometimes we forget that you can love people in so many ways outside of just romance. And so for us to get to that place of understanding, we have to brave these storms within ourselves, and we have to be bold enough and invite our past in to have these conversations, which will allow us to master ourselves. And trust me, baby, once you master, it is not a lie. And I feel like that's what I'm working towards, because once you master your internal self, once you master the whatever in your head, you can be the master of coin. You can be the person who knows then how to create your own reality and your own manifestations. Yes, that was the message. Thank you all so much. Always, if you've watched all of the ones I've posted so far, I love you. There's a special place for you in my heart. And yeah, check back in next week, or I may post another one later on this week. Yeah, stay blessed, y'all. Prosperity through diligence. My enemies are militant, but don't know who they're dealing with. The coolest in the village need a room so different gentlemen. Your room is full of elephants. Ain't buying what you selling unless it come with a check. Then I'm cool. Right down on the street.